Assalamu alaikum. My name is Malika, and today inshallah we shall be continuing our series on the 99 names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And today we will be looking at Al-Ghaffar, which means the all-forgiving. So the word root for Al-Ghaffar in Arabic has a few meanings, and it means to cover, veil, conceal, hide, to pardon, to forgive, to set aright, and to cover a thing or to protect it from dirt. So as you can see, it's very much not only about the forgiveness, but also about the covering and the protecting. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He forgives our sins and He also protects our sins from becoming known. He hides them, He protects our reputation as Muslims. And this doesn't mean we should just go around sinning without fear of recompense, but the number one we should fear is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has forgiven our sin, then He will cover it so we don't have to fear repercussion from our fellow Muslims for our sins. So that is something to be aware of, and I'm going to share with you a really beautiful verse from the Quran. So this is in Surah An-Nur, so it's Surah 24 verse 22, and it says, "Let them pardon and overlook. Would you not love for Allah to forgive you? Allah is forgiving and merciful." So it's basically saying, we expect Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us, we want His forgiveness, so we should share that forgiveness to our fellow human beings. Everyone makes mistakes, everyone has flaws, it's human nature, and we shouldn't hold that over another person. We should forgive other people in the same way that we would expect Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us, because, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has done so much for us, and, our sins are so great, it's all of us, we make mistakes, and we just pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives us, and we should overlook the sins of our fellow Muslims. We shouldn't judge them too harshly, we shouldn't hold it against them. We should think, well, I would want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive me for the mistakes I've made, so I should share that forgiveness with other people. And I'll share with you another verse from the Quran. So this is in Surah Al-Ghaffar, so it's Surah 45 verse 14, and it says, "Say to those who believe that they should forgive those who expect not the days of Allah, as it is for Him to recompense people for what they have earned." So that verse is basically saying not only should we forgive our fellow Muslims, but we should also forgive our fellow non-Muslims, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the one who will judge them for their deeds. He is the one who will make those decisions. It is not our place to be the ones judging them. We should forgive them as well. We shouldn't just reserve forgiveness for just our fellow Muslims. We should also forgive non-Muslims for their ignorance and for stuff they might do to hurt us. We should be showing forgiveness to all our fellow humans in the same way we would ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us, and we should leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give them what they have earned. Everyone on the Day of Judgment will be rewarded or punished for what they have done with their own deeds. And if people have done a personal harm to us, then we will have the chance to sort that out in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the important thing is that in this world, we need to leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to judge, and we need to leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be the one who decides what happens to people. And we shouldn't be just judging people and never forgiving them, holding grudges. Holding grudges is not the way of the Muslim. And I will share a hadith with you. So this is a hadith in Sahih Muslim, and it says, "Charity does not decrease wealth. No one forgives except that Allah increases his honor, and no one humbles himself for the sake of Allah except that Allah raises his status." So there's a few things to note there. Number one being, charity does not decrease wealth. So that's not saying, that when you spend the money, it's not real money. But it's saying that if you spend money to charity, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will recompense you that money, and you will find that you will not find yourself poorer because of charity that you have given. You will find that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala finds a way to replace the money that you have given in charity. So you should never see charity as like, I can't afford it, it's a waste of money, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will always reward you for your charity, and it's not going to decrease your wealth. And the second thing it mentioned was that no one forgives except that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increases his honor. So we should bear in mind that forgiveness is such a beautiful deed, and it's something that's really high in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He will raise our honor because of it. And on the Day of Judgment, we will be so glad that we've forgiven others, because we will see the rewards and the benefits of that forgiveness, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is forgiving. And as I've said in previous videos, we should always try to emulate the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and even though we will never reach His levels, we can still use that as a guideline for what is good and what is right. And forgiveness is something so pure and so good, and believe me, it just takes such a huge weight off of your heart. When you're bearing grudges, it's not a pleasant feeling, it's a negative feeling that really weighs you down, and if you just allow yourself to forgive that person, you will feel that weight, subhanallah, it's lifted, it's gone. You don't have that crushing your heart anymore. You can just move on. You don't have to be best friends with the person. You don't have to it's forgiveness is about you making a personal choice for what you want to place importance on. It's about saying, I don't want to give importance to this negative feeling in my heart. I will forgive and I will remove this negative feeling. And you don't have to be close with that person, but you just have to be civil and respectful, and you can try to forgive them, inshallah. And it's something that will be rewarded in the hereafter as well. So not only do we get that lightness of heart in this world, but we will get rewarded in the hereafter, inshallah. And the last part of that hadith was that no one humbles himself for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, except that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward him for it. So we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will reward us for when we humble ourselves, when we prostrate to Him, for when we do good things in this life. And we may get mocked by people who don't understand, but it doesn't mean we should stop doing stuff. We should always strive to be the best Muslims we can be. We should strive to be the most forgiving Muslims we can be, the most forgiving people. And we should show people that Islam is about beauty, it's about positive feelings, about positive attitudes and attributes. It's about forgiveness and kindness and mercy and purity and cleanliness and so many other beautiful things. So inshallah, in our lives, we should go forward, we should forgive people the same way that we would ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us. Jazakallah khair for watching. I really hope you found this video useful. Please do like the video, drop a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel for more Islamic videos in the future. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.